In the morning, I woke up and saw her looking a bit flustered, asking, "Did we maybe?" To it, a mischievous thought crossed my mind, and I smiled broadly. "Yes. Was it your first time?" Her face turned red at those words, and I realized once again that she was indeed a cute person. I'm going to tell this cute little lady something important. But first, I want to tell the story of how she and I came to be on this morning. My name is John Hayward, 28 years old. I work for a construction company that specializes in remodeling and renovation. I'm neither handsome nor highly educated, just an average employee, but the company's benefits are good, and my salary is decent, so I'm content with my current situation. I'm aware that I'm not an outstanding worker. That's why I value communication with my colleagues and customers and pay close attention to building relationships based on trust. Thanks to that, I've been well liked by both colleagues and clients. Recently, I got a beautiful new boss. She's Mary Johnson, who joined our company through mid-career recruitment. I was astonished when I first saw her. She has beautiful skin that doesn't show her 35 years, intense yet large and bright eyes, and an impressive figure, wearing a suit that fits her body line perfectly. I wasn't the only male employee drawn to her legs peeking out from her skirt. I remember my heart pounding uncontrollably when I saw her tuck her hair behind her ear after our first introduction. She had an excellent sales record at her previous company, and our president personally recruited her. She's the complete opposite of an average employee like me, a career woman who's good at her job and on the fast track to success. People even talk about her possibly getting a managerial position in the future. Once I actually started working with her, the rumors seemed true, and Mary's work was amazing. But she seems to be the type who can't compromise in her work, for better or worse, and is strict with others and herself. What she says isn't wrong, but her way of speaking is a bit harsh, and colleagues began to fear her and keep their distance. As for me, I'm probably disliked by Mary. I'm not a fast worker. I'm the type who wants to do everything carefully, so my work is slow. My colleagues understand, and it's not slow enough to hinder work, so they've been tolerating it. But Mary doesn't seem to like it. I've often been told, "You're so slow, can't you work faster?" Well, it's true that I'm slow, and she's good at her job, so I guess looking at incompetent me must be frustrating for her. Thanks to my laid-back personality, I don't find Mary that annoying or scary. Well, in my mind, I have nicknamed her the Demon Boss. But after calling me slow, Mary always makes a face like she regrets it. And then she looks at me as if trying to gauge my reaction. I guess she regrets speaking too harshly but can't bring herself to apologize, I surmise. Her sorry and thank you to other employees also seem brusque, or maybe shy. She may be an incredibly awkward person. If she were more honest, she wouldn't be feared by her colleagues, but I can't say that to the Demon Boss, so I stay quiet. One day, when a big project that all the employees were working on together finished, we decided to have a celebration. The client we were dealing with in the project also ended up coming. Even so, Mary took care of the hosting, so I and other employees were able to enjoy the party quite a bit. But as the party went on, I noticed Mary was pretty drunk. Her face was slightly red, and her eyes were watery. Seeing the beautiful woman in that state, the male clients seemed smitten. I couldn't just leave her like that. I had Mary take a break and took over the hosting myself. I'm a strong drinker, so the guests seemed to enjoy drinking with me. As the party neared its end, the clients decided to leave early. They were smiling as they left, and a client named David said, "I'm glad I came, so the hosting must have been a success." After that, I sent off my tipsy colleagues who were talking about going to a second party, and I decided to take care of getting Mary a taxi. Being good with alcohol, I'm always entrusted with taking care of those who've had too much to drink. Even after everyone left, Mary seemed to be in a daze, unable to sober up. And when I tried to call a taxi, she suddenly said, "I want to breathe some fresh air." I thought, well, a little walk wouldn't hurt, so we strolled to a nearby park. I tried to smoothly escort the staggering Mary by walking close to her, but I was so nervous that I was worried she could hear my heartbeat. So we walked to the nearby park and sat down on a bench. I bought some warmie from a vending machine next to the bench and offered it to Mary. But Mary turned her face away and said, "No thanks, I still want to drink," and playfully whined. I was surprised to see this side of her when she's had alcohol. My usually stern and beautiful boss changes when she drinks, and I realized that probably no one else in the company knew this. I felt a sense of superiority knowing the surprising side of the beautiful Mary that only I knew. Then Mary started to look up at me and act spoiled, and even began to complain. "You think I'm just a nagging old lady, don't you? You hate me, don't you?" "No, I don't think so," I answered, and Mary glared at me angrily. "Liar, you definitely think so. Mary seems to be quite a handful when she's drunk. Don't hate me, even though I really don't hate her. On the contrary, I've been interested in her since the day we met, and I can't stop my heart from pounding even now as I'm with her. I know I need to watch my tone, but when I'm at work, I just can't help being stern. There was a time when I was all smiles at work, but I've been told in my previous company that being beautiful helps you get jobs with your face. It made me so mad and sad. I started thinking that I couldn't just be smiling all the time." As she spoke, Mary looked down, looking sad, as if recalling that time. I think it must be tough for a woman to work hard in a male-dominated company and often hear such thoughtless remarks. She probably still feels traumatized by being told that she was getting work with her face. She must have been desperately acting strong so as not to be taken lightly. While trying to be recognized for who I am, regardless of gender, I became so absorbed in my work that people started to drift away. In my current company, I wanted to get along with everyone, but it didn't work out in the end. Maybe because of the alcohol. Her voice was choked with tears, and I felt sorry for her. "I'm sorry for calling you slow." "Oh, that's fine. It's probably true anyway." When I answered like that, Mary shook her head vigorously. "No, it's not that you're slow, but careful, I know that. But my boss said that because you're slow at work, they're considering transferring you to a different department. But I think you're a good fit here, and you're needed. But the higher-ups won't listen to me." I didn't know that. It would have been nice if you'd told me straight away. But if I said, "You might be transferred because you're slow at work," that would hurt you, wouldn't it? I think some people would be hurt by being called slow, but it seems she was trying to prevent me from being transferred by making me work faster. I understood why I was called slow, but I thought she was still clumsy. Although she's really kind, she just couldn't express it directly to others. I don't think her approach is right, but her clumsy kindness warmed my heart. After that, the two of us spent some time together in the night breeze. In a soft whisper, Mary said, "Do you remember when I asked you, 'You're scared of me, aren't you?' I vaguely recalled having that conversation a few months ago. I vaguely remember it. At that time, you said, 'I'm not scared at all. You work hard and achieve great results. I respect you.' I was so happy about that. I thought people around me didn't like me. It relieved me that someone saw my hard work and acknowledged it." I could remember it after she said that. Even though I'm not good at my job, I still respect Mary, who is competent, even if she's harsh. That's what I thought. But I was embarrassed that my casual remark had such an impact on her. If the beautiful boss I'm interested in tells me reassuring words, I'd be happy. But after that, Mary said something outrageous in her drunken state. "Ever since you said that, I've been gradually falling in love with you, but I'm kind of perverse, and I can't be honest about my real feelings, but I reflect on it every day. I think I'll be kind tomorrow, but it never works out. Why am I like this? I'm trying hard. You know I'm trying hard, right?" My face must have been bright red as I was suddenly confessed to, and I was flustered, not knowing what to say. Yes, I think you're trying hard." "Then, can you pat my head, stroke it?" Mary tightly grabbed my hand and brought it to her head. My heart was pounding non-stop. I even started sweating. But now that I've come this far, I might as well go all out. With that thought, I stroked her head. She closed her eyes in contentment and whispered, "It feels good." I couldn't take my eyes off her as she enjoyed my touch. There was no trace of the demon boss in her. I was captivated by the sight of her, so different from what I knew. And then, leaning on my shoulder, she fell asleep. I had always had a crush on her, the beautiful and capable Mary, and respected her as well. Of course, I never thought someone like me would be accepted, so I never spoke my feelings. But at that moment, I wanted to protect her, who was whining and had fallen asleep. She didn't wake up again after that. I carried her like a princess to the taxi, but of course, I didn't know her address. So I had no choice but to take her to my house. In the taxi, she held my hand and wouldn't let go. But I was also sure that I was happy about it. When I finally brought her home after she got drunk, my extremely shy pet cat Chico greeted us. Moreover, Chico was licking her while she was asleep. Chico always threatens people other than me. I gently petted Chico. "You're not shy around Mary. Listen, I'm thinking of confessing my love to her tomorrow. What do you think?" Chico looked at me with big eyes and meowed. Then she rubbed herself against Mary. It seemed like the cat was cheering me on, so I decided to confess my love to my awkward boss tomorrow. The next day, Mary was surprised to find herself at my house. She seemed to faintly remember going to the park while drunk, but didn't remember much about the conversation. Then, she looked at me hesitantly and asked in a small voice, "Did we, by any chance, do it?" Her nervous appearance was so cute that I felt a little mischievous. "Yes. Was it your first time?" When I asked her that, she screamed "Day!" and covered her face with both hands, turning bright red. I couldn't help but laugh and quickly reassured her. "Don't worry, nothing weird happened. By doing it, I meant spending the night. I didn't know your address, so we came here, but as soon as we arrived, you fell asleep. I slept in another room, of course, it's fine." "Oh, don't scare me like that, but thank you, sorry for the trouble." As Mary looked downcast, Chico sidled up to comfort her. What a cute kitty. She seemed to love cats, and Mary petted Chico with gentle strokes. "I think you were very drunk yesterday, and Chico is comforting you, the perverse person who loves me." At those words, the hand that had been petting Chico stopped. Wait, what does that mean? What did I say to you yesterday?" I placed a hand on her panicked head and told her to calm down. And when she looked into my eyes, I said, "I like you too. Will you go out with me?" She was taken aback and couldn't keep up with the sudden development, her mouth agape. "Wait, I can't keep up with this. Why can't I remember yesterday? But Yesh, please take care of me." I hugged her as she blushed and fidgeted in front of me. And then she put her arms around my back. From that day on, Mary was no longer a demon boss but my girlfriend. Later, at her insistence, I told her about our conversation in the park the previous day. My girlfriend, red-faced and teary-eyed with embarrassment, was utterly adorable. After starting our relationship, I decided to be there for her in her worries. I know that what she told me when she was drunk was her true feelings. She was overly tense because she had been told that she got her job because of her looks, and it had become a trauma. I really wanted to make her wish to get along with her colleagues come true. Then, at work, I got between Mary and her coworkers so that she could comfortably talk to people around her. Her colleagues have responded to her efforts, and now they have a good relationship. I also told them that Mary and I had started dating. I figured that if it's going to come out someday, it would be better to say it ourselves, so I proposed it. When I told my colleagues, the Mary next to me had turned bright red. My colleagues were surprised to see such a cute side of her, but I think it was a great opportunity to break down the barriers between Mary and the people around her. Looking at our colleagues discussing the grand entertainment at our wedding made me and Mary smile.